Could the Earth be flat?
Is the Earth flat?
But the granddaddy of all conspiracies, that we actually live on a flat Earth, seems to be making a comeback.
Science is ever-changing. There are new technologies, medicines, and species being redeveloped or uncovered. There are now satellites that can reach light years away and new planets to be discovered. Yet there are some who still challenge the knowledge that has thought to be the standard for centuries, the shape of the Earth. Aristotle is a philosopher credited with the discovery that the Earth was indeed spherical back in 350 BC. He questioned the previous science of the shape of the Earth and came up with what we use for centuries later as the true Earth model. However, where does questioning the norm end? Is there more or less to the Earth than what we've been shown? There are a group of enthusiasts, scientists, and believers, loosely coined as flat earthers, who wonder just that. These individuals generally propose the idea that the Earth does not embody the traditional model of a sphere. But who are these people? What do they believe? And how should we receive them?
I'm Will Boyce, a starter of the Flat Earth group of Maryland. Just a regular guy, man, that just discovered Flat Earth, and I want people to know about it, and I want to commune with other flat earthers. I started out college as an English major. I loved it. Got pressured into the whole pre-med track. Became a botany major, and I really liked that. Worked in a couple labs. Now I teach CPR full-time. Pretty fun, good stuff. The basis of the flat earth theory is that there is no curvature that can be observed.
In science, what you want to do is you want to test theories. So theories should make predictions that then you can then check on. And if the Earth weren't a sphere, and there were good reasons for it not to be a sphere, scientists have to be open to that.
I went out to the park where there's a body of water, and we looked at a bridge that was 15 miles away that should have had 100 feet of missing bridge due to the curvature of the Earth and the ocean. You could see the whole bridge with your naked eye just walking up, you know. The whole thing, cars even coming off and on, nothing was missing, no curvature whatsoever.
What you can't argue is that between this distance and this distance, you're supposed to see this amount of curvature. Anybody can test that.
So the time the sun comes up would be the same everywhere from here to California if we were on a flat map, but we're not. So as the Earth rotates on its axis, the time the sun rises changes depending on where you are. So that's the whole reason we have time zones. And that's what Eratosthenes, who was the Greek, actually did at the time, was he looked at basically the length of shadows at local noon, so when the sun was at its highest point in the sky. The length of the shadow is different if you're at different points north and south of each other, and you can use that to calculate the size of the Earth. With a model where the Earth is a sphere, and it works very well.
But you can also get the same results if you use the sun at 3,000 miles away and you know, smaller diameter. But you know, you can't go into a science experiment saying, look, we want to prove that the Earth is. He already had the measurements going into it of what he thought the circumference of the Earth should be.
Photos show Mad Mike building his rocket over the last 10 years, all to prove what most people consider a ridiculous notion.
The world, I believe, is honestly flat.
The flat Earth model says that there's a dome, there's a barrier, so you can only get so high up in the sky before you're blocked.
Why would they postulate this dome? Why would you do that? Is there a prediction that's associated with this? Would you say, all right, if we send a rocket ship up, it should bounce off? I mean, what? How would you test that and say that that can't be correct?
The theory of the fake moon landing comes from criticisms from the photos that were taken. Some people wonder why the flag has ripples in it as if it were moving, when there is no air to move it. Some believe that the entire filmed event actually took place on a Hollywood set. There are no stars, the quality of the photos were too high, and the angle of the astronauts' shadows are off.
Space agencies are lying. I'm going to give you a perfect example. Look at the moon landings. Now, anybody that's researched the moon landings to any degree know that there's a lot of funny business going on there. They have a picture of President Nixon on a landline talking to astronauts thousands and thousands of miles away. We can't even do that today. My phone goes out of service if I drive to the wrong area. So when you really research the moon landings, you'll see a lot of inconsistencies.
There are multiple accounts of ancient civilizations that have believed in either the flat Earth model with the dome or the flat Earth model where the Earth is a cube.
Every ancient culture just about knew that there was a dome over the Earth. It's ever since the ancients, they knew that was the default. You know, the heliocentric model is the new weird.
The Egyptians, the Israelites, the Mesopotamians, the Greeks, the Norse, the Germans, the Chinese all held the belief that the Earth was flat. Though some may argue that they only believe this because they haven't traveled far enough to account for the entire world, only the lands that they discovered.
I knew there were more flat earthers out there in Maryland, and I didn't want them to feel alone. I wanted them to know that other people see what you see, that you're not crazy. It's lonely, man, when you're like going against the grain and going against everything society believes in. Sometimes you're like, am I crazy? But it's good if you have a community around you. You know, so that's why I started it. And there are a lot more closet flat earthers than you think. They just don't come out and say it, you know.
Shaq joins a growing list of apparent NBA flat earthers. On a different podcast, Irving was asked by teammates, "Do you think the Earth is round?" An unequivocal Irving responded, "This is not even a conspiracy theory. The Earth is flat."
B.O.B.'s trying to convince us that the world is flat. I had to check his timeline 3 times just to make sure I was reading this correctly. Bobby Ray started his Twitter campaign to undermine science on Sunday night, and he was still going strong with the photo stats while you were having breakfast this morning.
I think a lot of flat earthers are just tired of having to defend their intellect, you know? I don't think I'm a very smart guy. I'm not. But I'm not totally ignorant of science. And flat earthers get that all the time, which is crazy, you know? It's not like they attack your message. They don't attack the fact that no curvature has ever been found. They attack you personally. They're like, oh, you're an idiot. I'm like, what? I'm just saying that we got the math wrong. Like, what's the big deal, you know?
My friends and family and people that aren't on board with like considering different shapes of the Earth basically become hostile.
If I could ask people in the world, that's the one question I would ask. Why is it so hard for you to believe that you could have been tricked on such a large level?